Welcome everybody back to another episode of Two Fat Guys in a Dream. Of course, I'm your host with the most, Truman and Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined here by my father, Scott Steen. Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Truman. I'm trying to live the straight and narrow diet life.
The straight and narrow. You're on the straight edge. You've quit.
The straight edge. That's right. I'm the straight edge. And of course, we misspoke. We use the D word, and we try not to do that around here. The eating for life or whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to stay on the straight and narrow. So I'm doing well.
Do we not?
I like.
Do we not? Do we not say diet?
Well, I mean, because diet implies like you've like it says we can use diet in the I'm not good enough in English. Diet as a noun versus a verb. How about that? That would be right? I'm going to diet this week would be the verb.
Yeah.
And I'm on but this is my new diet. That's a noun. So, yeah, it's the difference between I tend to think of a diet as more short term. How about that? Let's just simplify.
You shouldn't be dieting. You should be doing a lifestyle change, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you should change the way you eat, the way you want to eat for the rest of your life. And that's,
right.
We've been trying to do here as we spent the first, 6 months flummoxing around and you taking one for the team. If anybody just found us and you're like, well, this is kind of entertaining, it's interesting, but you should go back and listen to some of the earlier shows when Truman was doing a different diet every 2 weeks. You talk about taking one for the team, and some of the diets were great, and some of the ones I would not have done in a million years. So
again, intermittent fasting, that's the worst one. I'll still say it to this day. I don't. It's just, I think for a normal person, I know it works for some people, but
yeah, some people love it, just absolutely love it.
And I get it because it's what a lot of people want a diet to be, is that, oh well, I can eat anything, but I just don't. I just have to do this one trick, and then I get to eat everything. And it's like, yeah, but that one trick is kind of like an eating disorder in a way, where it's like, hey, I starve myself on purpose for 16 hours, and then I can have a big old meal.
Exactly right. And I told you I follow a lot of like hardcore carnivores.
Yeah.
That, literally, like, I saw a post the other one, and I'm trying to think what they had. It was something like, I had a grape or a piece of lettuce or something, and I feel so terrible.
I feel sick. I'm going to throw up. Oh
I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like literally meat, cheese, butter, end of list.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, so, I don't know. Truman, let me ask you, hypothetically, and I guess it's probably a better question for me at this age, but if you could extend your life by eating something like super restrictive, super like just the carnivore, eggs, cheese, meat, that's it. And you go, well, you extend you be healthier and you live 10 years longer. But that's all you can eat ever. Is that a trade you make today?
That is a great question. And I think it is a better question for you, because I think for me, 10 years right now, listen, I'm hoping, I'm looking at down the line. I'm hoping I've got another 70 years, right? And I'm like, at 10, I was like, what are we at in 12%, or whatever? It's 15%. It's all right. And not to make you face, mortality in a way or whatever.
My imminent demise,
right?
My ultimate mortality.
Let's say you've got 40, let's 40 or 50 years left, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna cut right through it to you. I could fucking do it in a heartbeat. Heartbeat. Well, okay, here's the difference. Number one, I've had a good run of Twinkies. I've had 6+ years of shitty food. Maybe not for the last couple years, not as shitty. Let's say I had let's say I've kind of been watching things for the last few years. Let's say I had conservatively a 55-year run of every shitty thing you ever wanted to eat.
Sure.
In whatever quantity.
Right.
I'm gonna miss chocolate chip cookies. Well, I've had 8,000 of them, probably literally. So yeah, I do it in a heartbeat.
Okay. So wait. So if that's the question, then if it's not, okay, what if the question is, hey, if at 60 you had to start doing this? Yeah, I'd probably do it at 60.
Mhm.
If I could have my whole life, it's kind of like, some people that say, "Oh, well, why would I?" This is a total random, and this, by the way, no commentary on the subject at all, by the way, but it's some people saying, "Oh, why would I uh, convert to some religion right now and get everything forgiven if I could just do a lot more of whatever I want to do and then just convert later?" It's like,
That
if it's
is
the
that
same
is
result, if
the
I get 10 years more, no matter what, then
that is the loophole. If you can predict your own demise,
right,
you can apologize for everything on your deathbed except Jesus. Everything's cool.
maybe,
That's that's a hell of a gamble to take, though, that you don't, like, eat it in a car wreck or something.
right. That's true. That's
I'm
true.
like, "Well, I was gonna apologize tomorrow,
Well,
but
and
now
some,
you're in hell."
well, and some people
So
would say that that if you're waiting that long, that they probably know it's not genuine either. So I don't. Besides the point, when I don't know how we got here. Totally beside the point. So would I do it? Tell me I have to do it right now again
yeah,
for a
okay,
for a
okay.
10% or a 20 a 15%.
For you, you get to add 20.
Hmm. Mm. God, that's always a hard question, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like
No, I just made it up, so I don't know if
I
it's always a hard question.
well, but that's a
I
question
know
about a
I
lot of
know we're
things.
2 for 2, and we're 1 for 2. It was not a hard question for
Well,
me.
and as we move forward into the future world, there's going to be a lot of questions about, hey, you could transfer your physical being into a robot body and live forever and never have to perish. Okay,
I can
how
only
long
afford a
is
Roomba. I can only afford a Roomba right now. So,
right,
I would
right,
just
right,
I've been spending the rest of my time just running around bumping into shit and then ultimately running out of energy. So, a lot like now. A lot
right?
like my life now.
So I guess I
Go
mean,
ahead,
but that's
sorry.
all. The question is, is it worth it to prolong it if you're not enjoying it? Well, I don't know. 10 years at the end kind of sucks. If I could have 10 years of my body right now extended, and then no, if I could stop aging for 20 years right now, and then I just get to finish aging, and I'm 50 with the body of a 30-year-old or whatever. Yeah, I'd probably do that. But
My
I
friend
guess
Brian
that's a lot of
my
questions. I
friend
don't know.
Brian my friend Brian Burgess used to say, say ta smoking takes 10 years off your life, but it's the last 10, so that's cool. It's the shitty ones. So,
That's really
anyway.
funny. That's pretty funny.
Hey, let's
Yeah,
talk about some health.
yeah,
Sorry, I know this is hard to believe. This is
totally.
totally unrehearsed.
Yes,
We
this
did
was
not
not
do
in
a
the
run.
script. No, obviously
We
the
don't have a
talking about
script.
mortality script. So I don't. So I guess in a way, eating healthy is a way to extend your life. So we should do that. But the bright side, luckily, as we've explored on the show, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I think that's the moral of the story here. If there was only
As
one
soon as
answer,
we find
though,
one, we'll let you know.
If there was only one answer, though, I think I probably would just do the one answer if that was the answer. I would say. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You can you can go down any rabbit hole you want, and I think I'm gonna bring this back to a point, and because I think if you look at like forks over knives,
yeah,
and you look at the huge study of Chinese people, I think that vegan thing, I think that's a great way to live.
yeah,
The carnivore thing, I think it works. I'm not sure. It's more like a trick. I'm not positive about that. But I think the key to anything, Truman, if you only listen to one episode and you only listen to one thing, I think this is the key of what I discovered in our journey. Uh, it's all about real food.
hmm
Whatever you're eating, it should be real. It shouldn't have a shit ton of ingredients. It shouldn't have seed oil, sugar. Sugar's not really a natural product.
no, no, not really.
Sugar's like sugar's like cocaine. Cocaine doesn't grow. It's processed. And that's the same as sugar. It's
Right.
processed off of cane.
Yeah,
So it's
if you had to drink sugar cane, or if you had to put sugar cane in anything you wanted to be sweet, you probably wouldn't enjoy it as much.
if you've ever taken a swipe at a piece of sugar cane with a machete, I guarantee you drink a lot more water. You had to chop your own fucking sugar cane anytime you wanted to sweeten a drink. You're like, You know what? I'm just gonna have a tea. That's cool.
Yeah.
I left my
Yeah, you know what?
spaghetti.
I'm done.
So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Let's get into it. Let's do a little bit of personal health review. Scott, you and I both pretty solid weeks. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves. I weighed
Right.
in this week at 254.5. That's a 2.6 loss of a week for me. That's 3.19% of my total goal. It brings me back to 33.13%, just under one third of my goal. 27 total pounds loss of my 81.5 goal. Feeling good. I tracked. We're gonna get into this when we do a challenge recap also, but I tracked all of my calories this week, and uh, and that it kept everything in perspective. I'm not gonna sit. I did the right thing, and I tracked my calories for better or worse. There's days where I went over. There's days I went under. I had 500 calories left yesterday. Today I'm over by 200. So it's how it goes, but it tracking it makes you face it, makes you face your reality and go, oh man, oh I can't do that, or I shouldn't do that, or and so but yeah,
What I was
overall
gonna
though,
ask
I'm
you.
down for the week, so
Oh,
can't
it's a
complain.
fantastic week. That's what I was gonna ask you, if being conscious of it altered your decisions.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot harder. Well, and what it really does is it makes me no matter what, I think the biggest thing you can do is make a plan, right? Make a
Mhm.
plan for how you want to eat and say, okay, if I do this, how does it affect the rest of my day? So there's a lot of times where I'm going, okay, what do I want to do for lunch? And I'm like running through my options. I'm like, oh, I could go to McDonald's. I was like, what would I get at McDonald's? And I put in the calories. I go, okay, Big Mac, fries, drink. If I didn't actually, I understand that I can't get McDonald's, but for an example, okay, Big Mac, fries, drink. How many calories is that? It's 1,000 calories. Okay, so then I had 500 calories for breakfast, so that leaves me 300 calories for dinner. You're like, oh my god, what is 300 calories for dinner? You're like, that's awful. I can't do that. So you're like, okay, wipe all that clean, right? What if I do this? And you're like, and so there's a lot of times where I'm sitting there and saying, okay, what do I need to eat for lunch today? And it's like, okay, salad for lunch because I know I'm going to run into issues. There's I did I'm really big on a kava kick right now. You ever done kava?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I like the Greek salad over there. So it's 600 calories. It's a lot of protein. It fills me all the way up. I say, okay, here's my breakfast. Let's go kava for lunch. How many calories do I have left for dinner? And there it is. So it allows you. Not only does it give you kind of that perspective, but making a plan, and it allows you to make a plan effectively. It also gives you leeway when you're like, oh wow, oh we're having dinner. I've got an extra 200 calories. You know what?
Right.
Maybe I will
And
have a
it
little cupcake here, or
and
something.
it also you can plan special meals. You
Mm-hmm.
know you're going out for dinner, or if you know you're going out for lunch, you can plan around that. You know what Mike Tyson said about having a plan. Everybody's got a plan till you get hit in the mouth with that Cheddar Bay biscuit, and then you got no more plan.
Famous. He was famous for that's true. But yeah,
Well known say.
essentially. So yeah, it all just helps you. It all helps you make that plan and keep you kind of in perspective, looking forward with you know to have healthy goals. And we're even going to talk. We're actually going to do a little bit of a mental exercise here after our personal health weigh-ins. On I have something a lunch I'm going to tomorrow, and we're going to talk through how to tackle this lunch and things I might do and things you might think about. So there's a couple things. So yeah, overall, again, 2.6 off. I'm at 254.5. I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling like I can have a great week again, and just feel like I've been in a better zone, especially now that I'm tracking calories because I'm thinking about every single thing that I'm eating instead of just saying, fuck it, a couple taquitos. Fuck it, what's a burger? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? I've probably eaten. I ate 1,000 calories. I ate 1,200. Man, I probably had 1,000 calories for breakfast. Fuck it. I'll just have a burger. If I'm tracking it, I go, fuck, that was 1,000 calories. Oh my god.
Mhm.
or definitely makes me think about the plan. Like today, I was like, oh, I'll do sushi because sushi is healthy, and I was getting ready to go, and then my coworkers are like, hey, you want to go to like I'm going to pick up lunch. You want to come with? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then we
Guys,
went to some like it was like a fast food burger place. I'm like, well, shit. So and then afterwards I'm eating that lunch, and I'm putting in all the calories into my app, and I'm like, God, fuck. I just but it meant me go for dinner. I went, okay, I guess I'm just gonna eat a couple slices of meat and cheese because I'm not incredibly hungry anyways, but because that's the way calories should work. But I had empty calories that were unhealthy, but when I got home, I said, okay, I'm just gonna eat meat and cheese, have a little protein, have a little veggies, and then we'll move on. So
the amazing
that's
thing is how much more satiated you are eating real food.
yeah, oh for sure,
Calories are not created equal. Like I used to have every day on my way to work, I would have an egg McMuffin, 2 hash browns, and an unsweet iced tea. 600 calories. Egg McMuffin's 300, hash browns 150 apiece. 600 calories. These days, I get up and I'll make a huge omelet with a couple 3 eggs and egg whites, meat of some sort, a couple pieces of high fiber toast with some cream cheese, a bunch of veggies in the eggs. 600 calories, 600 to 650, depending on what the meat is,
yeah,
and I'm full for the entire day.
oh yeah,
I'll think about eating dinner again at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Where with the McDonald's thing, 2 hours, 3 hours, you're hungry again,
mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. It's like
it's
cereal. Cereal's a
it's
huge
worse.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't remember the last bite of cereal I had. I really can't. But anyway, all right. So
One of
good.
those
That's
things that truly just never fits into any form of diet. We can add
no.
that to
Well,
Hawaiian
there's
the
another
mac
there's
salad at
another
Hawaiian
item.
Bros. We can add that
There's
into.
another yeah. There's another item we're going to talk about on the menu here that's coming up that just doesn't fit any plan at all.
Oh, I know where we're going, but yeah.
Sure you do.
But
Absolutely.
first, let's talk about your weigh in here, Scott.
Let's talk about me, Truman. Damn it.
Let's talk about me. Talk about number one on me. You 313.4. You weighed in at means that you lost 2.7 this week. Listen, you had 8 pound week last week. You had almost a 9 pound week. I think you ended up shooting for 10 or 11 by the actual week that you started Friday. You went to Friday.
The week was 12.1.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, but so it was hard. It's always going to be hard. Sometimes you have huge weeks, and then you have to have weeks where your body kind of catches up. Is my belief. I don't think you can
Oh, I
continuously go
was I was
8, 7, 10, 5.
was not
No.
yeah, was not expecting another gigantic week. I was happy with keeping it on track of losing over 2 pounds. That's
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people will be, "Well, but you just lost 12 pounds." Well,
Chip it
number one,
away.
that's my Friday weigh-in date, so I might lose another pound. So I could be down close to 4 pounds, and that's
Just chipping
fine.
away. Chipping away. There you go.
Yeah, it's all good. Not losing it faster. I'll tell you, I've kind of snapped a lot of my carb cravings
Mm-hmm.
because in the past I would go through 2 bags of chips a week. Usually, actually 2 bags plus, because I'd have 2 bags of chips of my own. Usually 2 kinds of potato chips, maybe 1 potato chip, 1 corn chip. Then I'd also eat some tortilla chips. And I have I eat chips during the day. I'd say maybe I have a serving with each meal, but then I eat them during the day constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And once I stopped eating carbs, but craving went away. I've been sitting. There's a pan of brownies in the fridge. There's a couple bagfuls of chips, and I've had a few nibbles of potato chip this week. I've probably had a half a serving in 4 days.
Wow.
So, um, yeah, it's the switch literally has been flipped, and it's been more than a mindset. It's been my body responding by helping out
Mm-hmm.
and not craving all these things that I'm not eating.
Yeah.
This would be a torturous diet if I was still wanted to grab a fucking handful of chips every time I walked by the kitchen and have a little nibble of brownie here and there, and but I don't. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. I'm happy with what I'm doing. My daughter claims I have an eating disorder, but uh,
Interesting.
that's why I've tried to keep it from getting as extreme. That's why I'm trying to stay out of ketosis.
Yeah.
I'm averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 54, 55 carbs a day, right where I want to be.
Yeah.
I was actually shooting for 60. I'm below where I was shooting for.
Wow.
So
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
I think we even talked about this just to make sure it's no person can really we talked about this like 1200, 1500. I think is probably the minimum that you can go for guys and gals. So it's
mhm.
just making sure that you're hitting those, then you're probably going to be all right. And as long as you're not starving, as long as you're not developing an unhealthy relationship with food, that's what's important, right?
Yeah, I'm eating when I'm hungry. I might have a snack of some meat and cheese 6 o'clock ish, depending on how early I eat breakfast. Then I'll eat dinner 9, 10 o'clock. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And your
and
schedule's a
so.
little different than other people's, where they're going to bed at 10. You're going to bed at
Oh
like
yes,
9,
yes,
1,
yeah.
2. Yeah.
For the record, I'm going to bed at 1 to 1:30.
Right. Yeah. Everybody goes, "Oh, you're not supposed to eat after 8." Well, it's not. It's not. It's because you're not supposed to eat after 8 if you're going to bed at 10. You're allowed to eat after 8 if you're going to bed at 1. So
Yeah.
just
So
as
anyway,
a rule of thumb.
hey,
Yeah.
you're going to lunch tomorrow with your grandmother, my mother-in-law,
I am. I am.
and you're going to what I would consider a place where you can probably eat as healthy as you want, as far as keeping it low
Keeping it
carb,
real. We've talked about real foods. Yes.
or you can eat as unhealthy as you want. And there are I would say there's many more unhealthy options than there are
Right.
healthy options. But it kind of goes with what you're saying about making a plan, and you want to make a plan to know what you want, so you won't be tempted in the moment
Right.
and caught up and So we're going to talk about that.
And
I'd
that
say the
place. Oh
Texas Roadhouse,
no,
Texas we
sorry. That place is Longhorn Steakhouse.
Longhorn. Sorry,
Longhorn. Yes.
I always
Longhorn
I always
Steakhouse.
get them confused.
No, you're good. You're
So
good.
the first step in making a plan, and it's great that we live in the day and age that we do, because most menus, and certainly every chain, their menu is available online,
Yes.
and almost without fail, so is their nutrition guide. You might, depending on where it is, you might have to hunt a little harder for the nutrition. I think Five Guys for one doesn't make it easy.
I'll say I'll show it. I'll show it on the video here for all those people that are watching on uh, the YouTubes. But so, for example, on the Longhorn Steakhouse, it's down. It's down here. So this is this is at the bottom of the screen, but it just says nutrition down here.
All right, so
So
I would guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would say for me, the
sorry
second
about the delay
step
there for a second. Sorry. Yeah.
in making a plan would be to establish your goal.
Right.
Is that kind of what you're doing?
Yes.
Trying to backward engineer your meal, as it were, based on the parameters that you've set for yourself. Okay, so what have you set for yourself for this meal?
Right. So let's say, okay, so normally my general goal that I do, so I have about an 1800 calorie goal every day, right? I know that me as a 254-pound man, if I eat 800 calories in a day, I will probably lose weight, because it's probably takes the average, I think, for like the average person is 2000, and probably for somebody that's overweight such as myself, stabilizing is probably 2300. You're probably not going to lose any weight, gain any weight if you're at 2300. But I shoot for 1800. So what that means is I shoot for 600 calorie meals. Also, part of our agreement that we've worked out through this diet that we've been running is that when I work out, I get half of my calories back. In the
All right.
morning, I typically do a little workout. It's normally 600 to 800 calories, somewhere in there. I'm normally getting 300 to 400 back. So over the last couple weeks, or the last week, I've actually developed. I've been in the morning. I have a protein shake and I have a to-go yogurt. I eat those at work, and I use that as my breakfast. It helps me kind of just keep the hungries away. So, and that combination is about 300 calories. So if I work out tomorrow morning and I eat my breakfast, I will be still at 1,800 calories, which means I can give myself 900 calories of leeway. And I know the way this works is that you will pick something and you say, that's probably that. And then you get there and it's a little different, or something's a little added, or you didn't get, So what
We're
I'm
out
really
of
going to shoot
those.
for here is about 700 to 800 calories, is what I'm going to
Okay.
say. Right.
All right.
So,
So
uh,
I would say the first thing, no
sure.
appetizers.
No appetizers. No, I've got the appetizers up right here. And this is, I know, something that you wanted to talk about.
I
So,
did.
all
But
the
looking
steak.
over the menu, there's something else I want to talk about.
Oh, really? Well, so let's real quick. So all these steakhouses, we talk about a lot of things that you can never eat when you're on any form of diet. We just talked about sugary cereal. We always harp on the Hawaiian Bros Mac salad. Fast food shakes almost are never going to fit in anything you do. And one of those things that sadly never fits into anything that you do is for the Longhorn Steakhouse, it's the Texas Tunyon. It's the Bloomin' Onion at Outback. It's the uh, Cactus Blossom at Texas Roadhouse. It's it's fried. It's an onion that they cut open, they batter, and they fry it. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's amazing. And it's 1,200 calories to eat the whole thing. And if you get the dip, it's another 500 calories. So you're splitting 1,600 calories. And odds are you're probably splitting it with 2 to 3 people. So you're probably just starting off eating, let's call it 500 to 600 calories. And that's about what I shoot for in one meal.
And and like he was saying, not only does it have the over 1,000 calories,
Oh,
121 grams of fat if you have the dip, and that's
would
and
you
that's
believe
not
only
really
30 milligrams of cholesterol? That blows. There's no way that's right. There's
uh
no way that there's only 30 milligrams of cholesterol
well,
in a
it could
deep
be because
fried onion.
there's no meat in it. If you're flying in vegetable oil, I mean, cholesterol. All right, so if you're on a low cholesterol diet, you could eat it. You better leave room for 2,720 grams of sodium,
Yep.
and you
Oh,
better
and
leave.
that's if you don't eat the dip. It's 3,400 grams of
Yeah,
sodium if you eat the dip.
I think that you see, you can't really count the dip because that's like the whole dip, and
Right.
you're splitting the dip, so
You'd like to
that's
think
not.
so.
It's 126 grams of carbs.
So you
So if
shoot
you're on
for
a low,
60. So you could eat
yeah,
one of these or a half of
every other,
these and
every
still
other
be
day.
over, but still probably feel bad about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but looking over the menu, I noticed the Texas brisket nachos, Truman.
Ooh, Texas brisket nachos.
They
Oh
check
my god, Jesus
they check in at
Christ.
a cool 2,040 calories,
Oh my god.
and the Bloomin' Onion said, "I got 121 calories," and the Texas brisket nachos said, "Hold my beer, Tubby. How about 130 grams of
Oh,
fat, including 45 grams of saturated fat?" Thank you very
jeez.
much. Cholesterol, there you go, 240. Sodium, you're thinking, well, it's got brisket. How much sodium could it have? Well, it could have over 4,000 grams of sodium.
I'm actually
So,
shocked it's only
milligrams.
149 carbs. I don't know why that's shocked. Again, a reminder that tortilla chips are delicious, but sadly, what they are always is that you are probably eating, I don't know, 6 tortillas probably with you when
Well,
you're eating your serving of chips at the table.
I can tell you that tortilla chips have about 15 grams of carbs per ounce.
Mm, 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 mm.
So,
It's
yes.
hard to
So
eat.
anyway, all right. So we got away from it. So stay away from the appetizers. There's some bad ones. We were just having some fun with that.
Mhm.
Uh,
All right,
so
we'll keep moving
you
through
could
here.
you could have a little soup.
Could have a
You could
soup.
have
Soups aren't too
you could have a
bad.
little cup of French onion soup, 170 calories, 10 grams of fat, 13 grams of carbs. It looks like. Yeah. So okay,
Not too
okay,
bad.
that fits a lot of plans. All right, all right, all
Go
right
down
now.
here. All right, now we take a look at and this is an area I've become familiar with. I let's look at the kind of the salad area. Listen, this is, we always know these are here. And that's why I kind of like to locate the salad. It's like, listen, if I truly can't find anything that's within my 7 to 800 calorie goal, I'm glad I can come back here to a salad. I can go to 7 pepper sirloin salad. That's awesome. That's no problem. 490 calories, 22 grams of carbs, which is still a little more than I expect, but 45 grams of protein, still pretty nice ratio there. Two more, double the amount of protein to your carb ratio. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
But
Be careful on the dressings.
mm-hmm.
I know you.
Honey mustard dressing, 480. Ranch, 460 for 3 ounces.
I know you like the ranch. So
Oh,
always.
yeah.
Excuse me. Your vinaigrettes are usually going to be your best choices, and that's the case here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your
60, 120. Yep. Or
60
oh,
calories. Yeah.
but your white balsamic vinaigrette. So be careful about your balsamic vinaigrettes, because then you're up to 200 and 390 for the. So almost as much as ranch at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of oil.
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
A lot of oil on that. So all right. So now
we keep moving on. Probably no alcoholic drinks at lunch.
You can have an item there. You can have a side salad or a soup,
yeah.
if you so desire. Yeah, probably not a lot of hurricanes.
Nope. Probably no beers. Man, always a good time to look at beers and just look at the amount of carbs in a beer. So here's your whole beer section: 12, 6, 3, 4, 16, 20, 8, 10. I mean, you have 3 beers, and that's what Scott has in a day.
Yeah.
And that's at 21. That's 21 carbs for I guess that's a cider, so it's a little worse. But
well, now you can go
20
you can
carbs
go Mick
for,
Ultra.
that's true. Mick Ultra, not fun. Regular draft beer. That's weird. Or light draft beer. That's funny. I guess they're just like, listen, we'll probably have Bud Light. We'll probably have Budweiser, whatever.
Okay, so
your light beer's a little bit better, 8 and 10 carbs, but still. Okay, let's keep it moving and grooving, huh? No wine.
So you move into your you got some lunch entrees.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some solid options there.
Real quick, just a visualization of so let's say you get unsweet iced tea, always a 0. Water, always a 0. Yes, your Diet Coke is a 0 calories, but when you get into lemonades and sweet teas and sodas, is that you're just drinking calories that aren't filling you up at all. Hib Extra has 140 calories per. I believe that's going to be 12 ounces that they're, because they're filling it up with a bunch of ice. So it's 12 ounces per Pib Extra that you're having. But that's 140. You have 4 of those, or if you're having 2 or 3, is not unheard of. That's 39 carbs per soda. That's all, and it's all sugar. So just a reminder there before we move on. Okay, so let's start looking at some of these lunch things. Your lunch portions are a little smaller typically. Again, a couple things we're gonna have to rule out. Half-pound steakhouse cheeseburger. I've had it there. It's great. It is 850 calories. Unless you're planning on cutting that in half, I don't think you do it. And that's that's before sides. That's before fries. That's before anything. That's just the burger.
And 50 plus grams of fat for both the cheeseburger and the chicken sandwich. Not a good thing right there.
Yeah.
Very high in carbs, 66.45 for the 2 sandwiches. So that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much out. You do see a reappearance of your 7 pepper sirloin lunch salad, so that's cool.
A little smaller, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could have a little chowder if you wanted to.
Chowder, yeah, 250. Not not awesome, but not awful. Not the worst thing.
Yeah. Again, so I would call. You've got some chicken tender options here. You've got some crusted chicken. You'll notice how much the Parmesan crust just absolutely cranks up the fat. I am kind of curious, Truman, why the 9 ounces, 36 grams of fat, and the 12 ounces, 69.
And it's almost it's not exactly double, but it's certainly not only a 33% increase on calories from fat.
A natural increase would be 48. That's what if it's proportional, it would seem to me.
Right. So that's
so I am curious.
That what you will.
Yeah. So You might as well have 2 of those
Yeah. Yeah.
and take half the other one home. You'd be better off.
So,
Uh,
so
okay,
without going through the whole menu, I'll tell you what I've done in the past. I'll tell you what I was starting to think through what my plan was going to be. So I've done this in the past. I've had the burger and the fries. That's 1,300 calories. Now that I'm looking at it, and if you get that side of ranch that we talked about, that's another 300 calories. And I'll tell you what, there's bread on the table. We're gonna look at sides here later, but there's a possibility if you get a burger, fries, and ranch on the side, you especially if you have a soda, and then you have some of that bread, you could have all your calories in one meal. You could have 1,800 or over. You could go
that's
over in
that's
one
your
meal.
that's your day and part of tomorrow right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
A pretty good option before we move on real quick, I'll say a pretty good option in a lot of places, and this is no case if you this is the case here as well. If you like shrimp, shrimp
mhm.
is usually a pretty good choice. You can get 8 shrimp,
Saw the shrimp. Where? Oh, there
160
it is.
calories, 3 grams of fat.
Right.
So, of course, you always have to, be aware of the sodium and
Carbs.
cholesterol and all that, but, that's not a bad choice if you like seafood and you're not super hungry. 8
Yeah.
shrimp, is it gonna fill up a lot of people? Okay, so go ahead. So we've ruled out the burger, so what are you looking at?
I don't know if I'm feeling a salad, but in the past, what I've done is the chop steak. Chop steak, for people who aren't familiar with it, is it's essentially ground beef that they put into a patty and cook like steak.
It's a hamburger without annoying the people that you're ordering from.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I want it without a bun and okay, just order the chop steak, dumbass. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what I will say about the chop steak, it's got a fair amount of fat grams, 46. It's ground beef. Ground beef is in most restaurant settings is never going to be very lean. You can of course order very lean ground beef from the grocery store, but I can tell you for sure that Longhorn Steakhouse ain't using a 90-10 or 95-5. I bet they're
There's
using
also
a 70-30 or 65-35.
there's also a good chance they're making it out of trimmings and adding fat to it. Or adding fat or suet to it to give it flavor.
That's true. That's true too.
Oh,
So it's not, listen, it's not the perfect option, but sometimes it's not about picking the perfect option. It's about picking an okay option. I will say it only has 13 carbs. It's great as we
yep,
look at carbs here. And that 13 carbs is offset also by 44 grams of protein,
very good.
which is pretty good. It has 3 grams of fiber. So it's only 10 net carbs and 44 grams of protein. A 4 to 1 ratio on grams on carbs to protein, absolutely something that I love to see. As you know, I haven't put as much of an emphasis on fat, but I put a lot of emphasis on carbs and protein to a lesser extent. So chopsteak, not a bad option for me. What I will say, chopsteak by default comes with mashed potatoes and gravy. Mm. Mashed potatoes. You can see it's actually down here conveniently because it actually goes also on the chicken fried steak. 340 grams, 340 calories for the mashed potatoes, and 37 grams of carbs, and again 5 grams of protein. A 7-to-1 ratio the other way, not what we're looking for.
No,
7 carbs to 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram protein, not very good. Gravy adds 160, so something to think about when you're adding gravy on to anything is that, again, and it's also that gravy is 18 carbs to 1 gram of protein, even though it
I
is.
will say if you're having a chopped steak, you're gonna have to most likely put something on there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna put some gravy on there. I'm probably gonna get a little bit of gravy. So
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. And again, so we're at 800. Let's say we get the chopsteak and it's going to be gravy. One, I would say maybe you probably don't need all that gravy. Maybe scoop a little of that gravy off on the side. Save yourself some calories. There's nothing wrong with just pushing it off to the side. Save a little bit there. And then the mashed potatoes. You're at 340. You're probably gonna have to go find another side. So let's go down and look at the sides.
Yep.
Let go down all
Looks
the way.
to me like you got about 3 options.
Yes, we got the steakhouse sides here. So again, default comes with mashed potatoes and gravy. We're probably not going there. 340 for the mashed potatoes, 160 for the gravy. That's a 500 calorie side. Again, what I normally aim for in a meal is 600 calories, and this mashed potatoes and gravy is 500. So your first option you see here, obviously, fresh steamed asparagus, 130 calories, not bad at all. You know, it's a vegetable. It's a veggie. It's gonna be 5 carbs, 8 grams of
7 grams,
protein.
7 grams of fat, so you know they're doing something good to it,
Yeah, they're putting some butter or something on there.
right?
People have described to me. They said, "Oh, the crispy Brussels sprouts are really good there," and that's one of those where you go, "Oh, I'm getting Brussels sprouts. Oh, that's
Yeah.
got to be
Hey,
healthy." Boom, 300 calories for the Brussels sprouts. And where are they doing it? What are they doing to it? I believe I know what it is. I think yes, that's right. 17 grams of sugar. They are putting a bunch of probably honey and good
yep.
stuff on it, and
And
that sweetens them
there's
up. And
23 grams of fat, so they're frying them. That's what makes them
mhm.
crispy.
Frying them and putting something sweet, probably some honey or something.
So,
So
if you want to baked potato, 240, you probably don't have the room.
yeah, yeah. The sweet potato is 240. The plain baked potato is just 290. And that's a plain baked potato. You're not even
Yeah.
getting, not even talking about
Yeah,
sour
but
cream. Not even talking about that. I'm trying to think of other things that might be sound healthy. Seasoned rice pilaf. You're like, oh, it's rice. Rice isn't a bad option. Rice again, man. I can't deal with all those carbs. 41 grams of carbs in one side. I can't. Listen, you try to shoot for 60. I try to shoot for like 90 to 100 carbs in a day. That's 40% of it right there. I can't. And a side, that's only 230 calories.
I think
Broccoli. The
that's
broccoli.
calling your name. That broccoli's calling your name, buddy.
That broccoli is safe here, and I really like broccoli. Some broccolis, again, we talk. People will add bacon to it. Green beans, another one that people add a lot of bacon to, a lot of butter to.
Oh, you like cheese sauce on broccoli?
Yeah. Crispy Texas okra. You might be saying, "Oh, okra." No, 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 no. 310 also there. Again, crispy.
I'd
Always a
say
bad sign.
crispy's a pretty yeah, that's kind of a keyword right there that you might wanna avoid.
Yeah. So it looks like my options are broccoli or asparagus, and I'm probably gonna go broccoli, honestly, because I
Yep.
like broccoli more than I like asparagus. So that's my options. Tomorrow, I'm going chopped steak with
Okay.
gravy. If I don't scoop any of that gravy off, it's 800 calories. I'm probably gonna scoop some of that gravy off, uh, and I'm gonna go broccoli on the side there. So that probably puts me at about 800 calories. I'm going to try to scoop off about 90 calories worth of gravy, and that'll be my broccoli. So that's about 800 calories. If you eat the full bread loaf, it's 480 calories. So maybe you have a little slice of bread, and that puts you at about 900, maybe.
There you go.
So there you go. So
Alright.
that's my plan. Now I've got a plan tomorrow. No soda is the plan at all. I've actually, even this week, I've tried to been getting away from diet soda. I've just been switching it out for full iced tea. I'm trying to make that full switch
Good. Good.
where just
Alright.
knowing that your body's still treating diet soda the same way in a lot of ways. But
It is, yeah, metabolically, it reacts in a lot of the same ways as if you've had actual sugar, so
yeah,
alright, there you go, bud. Very nice, very nice. That's how you make a plan. That's how you execute the plan. Well, it's not we'll see how you execute it, but it's certainly
yeah,
how you plan in
fine with it.
advance, and because that's part of real life. Real life is, you're not making every meal in your kitchen. You're
And
going
and a,
out.
and a big key: there is no shame in taking food home. You do not have to clean the plate. Okay, let's say I've made a great plan: 900 calories, bread, chopsteak, broccoli, exactly what I want, all the things I want. There's nothing stopping me from getting halfway through this meal and going, you know what? I think I'm full. I've had
Take it
some
home.
great conversation. It slowed down my meal. Oh, wow. I can take this home. Now I've only done 600 calories. Wow. Now I can have, not only could I could eat this later. That's 300 calories that I've literally put it aside for myself later if I get hungry. And then, I could have that and I could still eat a very solid dinner. But I probably won't be as hungry for that dinner. It's probably going to be a lot easier to eat 600 calories or 500 calories or, keep it under for your calorie goal for the day. So,
Yeah,
just a couple things to remember. All right. Let's
100%.
uh let's hurry up. We've already been recording for a little long, 44 minutes. Not too bad, but we try to keep it under an hour here. Let's do a quick
Yeah,
challenge recap. My challenge recap
alright,
for the week was tracking my calories. We already kind of talked about it. I tracked my calories. I did it very well. I I just I track my calories very well. There's really nothing much more to add to it.
no, you didn't miss any days, you didn't miss any meals, you were tracked completely. That was pretty much the goal.
Yeah.
My goal was to get, more steps in, and I increased my total by about, 12%. So,
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
blow it out of the water, but you know what? Baby steps, Bob.
Baby steps, baby steps. All right. Let's do next week's challenge. So, and For those of you who know me, I know you know that I struggle with my biggest struggle is soda. We've talked about it on this show plenty of times. So I'm going to go. I'm not going to drink any calories. I guess like if I have a glass of milk, I'm not going to count that as there's benefit to drinking a glass of milk or something. But if I drink a glass of milk for breakfast or something like that, but I'm not going to. What I'm not going to do is have soda. I'm not going to have a lemonade. I'm going to try not to not drink any of my calories. And part of that is also being that I'm also going to commit to not even doing really diet soda because your body treats diet soda a lot of the same ways that it treats normal soda a lot of the time. So avoiding that also will help me. So I'm going to avoid diet soda, regular soda, just stick to hopefully iced tea and water this week, and that'll be the plan.
All right.
Maybe a lemon,
I have
maybe
a
a
goal.
squeeze of a lemon every now and again.
I have a goal, and I'm not even sure if I'll utilize the reward. I'd like to lose 5 pounds by the Super Bowl.
Okay.
If I do, I will let myself eat regular food that's going to be here. I will have my first quote unquote cheat day in about 3 weeks.
Sure. Have some
I
chips and
don't
dip and
don't know if it'll sound good to me or not, but I think that's an admirable goal. And I know every diet they would tell you not to set a goal in pounds and things like that. But that's I want to see real progress. Eating clean, getting exercise. It's not enough for that kind of reward if the results don't show up.
you know what? And I think I'll join you with this. I think a big push to get under. I'd be back under 250 by the time the Super Bowl rolls around. I think that'd be great for me, and I think I want to push through with that as well, and just try to make
Okay.
listen. You really lock in for a week and a half here. Really, hunker down and understand that a 5 pound week or a 5.5 pound week and a half is pretty good for me, and know that it's probably not sustainable, but
Oh,
as long as you stick it out and do it, I'm right there with you. I'm willing to make a little push here, a little extra
okay.
push.
Yeah, I mean, and as long as you don't snap back the next week, if you
Yeah,
break even or better the next week, you're fine.
and
So
still, and next week we're gonna talk about Super Bowl party goals. We talked about it for Thanksgiving. We talked about Super Bowl party strategies, and we're gonna talk about it next week as well. So,
apparently, our strategy is fuck the strategy. Try to lose a bunch of weight before you have to go.
well, I
So
mean that is a strategy that we talked about in the past,
it
when
is.
especially when counting calories. Is that is calories are calories, right? There is some amount of cutting on other days to save up for bigger days. If I shoot for 1800 and I go 1600, 1600, 1600, I've got an extra probably 600 calories I could spend on Super Bowl Sunday and do 2400. Maybe have a little soda, maybe have a little extra brisket.
We have no idea if that's true or not, but that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
So I've heard
Uh,
plenty of people say it before.
okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, it makes sense
People that I don't know if they know what they're talking about, but I've heard
if you're
other
if,
people.
if you're looking at the macro, and your macro is 1,260 calories a week. I mean, 12,600 calories a week. You should be able to spend them, fucking however you want to.
Yeah,
So that's our
absolutely.
theory.
All right.
We need a moment for Truman to check my math, and I know he did. So good, good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As always, thanks for joining us. Here's to another successful week, Truman. We're
Of
both of
course.
us over 2.5 pounds.
Yes, sir.
It's fantastic. Let's keep the momentum going. Now we're back on track.
Yes, a great week from both of us. For me, if I survive this weekend pretty well, I'm gonna have a great week again. So
There you
gotta
go.
just
Keep your goals in mind, buddy.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Calorie counting, making plans, sticking to them. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody for being here. At Steam Machine, at Steamroller, Open Disaster on YouTube if you want to watch there. If you're tired of seeing her face on YouTube, go over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's available anywhere you get your podcast. If it's not available somewhere that you are getting your podcast, let me know and I'll figure out a way to get the podcast there. But I guess
Demand,
if it's not
demand.
available in the place that you like it, then maybe you're not listening to it anyways. Send us subliminal messages. Listen, if you're like, I do this because I like these guys and I listen, then tell us other places. So there you go. That's it. That's everything. We appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you for hanging out. Appreciate the believers, the dreamers, even the fat guys for being here. Next week, we're gonna be talking Super Bowl strategies. We're gonna be talking. Maybe we'll have a guest on. I've been in contact with a couple people who had some weight loss stories or some amount of fitness journeys that were interested in coming on and talking to us. So we'll maybe
Excellent.
reach out and do that. And yeah, so there you go. That's it.
Have a great week, everybody.
Appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for hanging out. Again, I don't know. Just
Terrible at outros.
thank you.
You had
terrible
you
outros.
you had your momentum going, and you buckled. You buckled with the podcast platform thing, and you never recovered.
See you guys.